You're predicting Bitcoin could go up to $100,000. So tell me how you made this turnaround.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Jordan Belfort, aka the Wolf of Wall Street, giving us his take on Bitcoin, predicting the cryptocurrency's price will go on to hit $100,000. Belfort believes Bitcoin holds advantages over stocks, such as its limited supply, which could see the six-figure level much sooner than we think. He also cited the increase in support Bitcoin has received from institutional investors compared to its previous bull run in 2017. This is quite the change in tune from previously saying it wasn't a great model in September of 2017, adding that cryptocurrencies would require some backing by central governments, and that central banks would issue their own cryptocurrency, and that's what it will take. Let's listen as Jordan Belfort gives us his take on what he thinks is next for Bitcoin and the crypto market as a whole. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
Jordan, so you are actually a Bitcoin critic turned believer. In 2017, you said Bitcoin was a fraud, and you know about fraud, and you say Bitcoin can easily be used in money laundering and that the government can make it go away. Nevertheless, you're predicting Bitcoin could go up to $100,000. So tell me how you made this turnaround.
So I was right in 2017. I called the price drop pretty much to the day. So when I said that I thought Bitcoin was ridiculously overvalued and based on nothing, I believe at the time I was right 100%. I think it was 19,000 plus when I said it. Within a week, it was, plummeting and so forth. Now, I thought it would never come back. And the reasons, were pretty valid at the time. And I'm still perplexed by it, but I'm glad that it's still here. To me, it was all about sovereign risk. I love the idea of blockchain technology. I am investing in it. I'm involved with the whole crypto movement now. But I was very much of the mind that there's no way the government is going to allow this to go on, because I, as you said earlier, was convicted of money laundering. I know what lengths they'll go to stop anyone's ability to move money around the globe without following those forms of over $10,000. So it seemed counterintuitive, almost impossible. And many people, like Warren Buffett and many others, Jamie Dimon, also agree with that. The fact that it didn't go, kaput, so to speak, I think it's a great thing because I love the technology. I'm still a bit shocked by it, though. So that being said, now that enough bigger players are involved, I think it'll be difficult for the government right now to essentially regulate it out of business at once. So I think what happens first before anything long term is I think it goes higher technically, probably to 100,000 or more. But what happens over the long term, I still think is an open question. I'm a bull, certainly for the short term, and I love blockchain technology overall.
What?
Many critics of Bitcoin say that it can be used to launder money. The question is posed to Belfort on what he thinks about it and how different it is than cash when it comes to having a record of every dollar. Bitcoin keeps a ledger on the blockchain, so it is much safer than cash to transact, and there's an accountability system already in place.
I just want to play devil's advocate. A lot of people who hear the money laundering claim on Bitcoin say, well, cash is used for money laundering more so in the world than Bitcoin is. Just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, number one, I don't think that Bitcoin would be the coin people would use to launder money. There are much better, privacy coins like Monero and things like that. So while Bitcoin is much easier to launder money with than cash, because cash is hard to move, Bitcoin moves anywhere in an instant. So you move that whole transportation problem. Anytime you watch a movie that's about, narcos, it's always about they're loading money onto boats and what do we do with the money? So obviously, Bitcoin has that advantage. But that being said, there are much better mechanisms out there now with crypto than Bitcoins. I don't think Bitcoin would be the one that people would use. Maybe it's used a bit, but I don't think that's what Bitcoin's being used for. In the early days, watch the movie Silk Road. That's what its initial use was in the early days when people first realized what it could do.
Do you own any Bitcoin, and when do you see Bitcoin hitting $100,000?
I do own some Bitcoin. It's not a massive investment for me. I own some. And who knows? I mean, honestly, I would think before the end of the year, but don't take mine's just a feeling I have. It's based on technical factors, on announcements that you see every single day. I don't think anyone really knows where it's going. But I think I had to guess, I say it goes significantly higher versus lower, and I believe it really has its place in the financial system as sort of a digital gold. And ultimately, I'd like to really see it as more of a payment mechanism with decentralized finance. That's what I really think the future of Bitcoin is.
Are you bullish on any other cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, Ethereum, I mean, has, more use. I know there's an update coming that hopefully will make it a lot less expensive and quicker to use. But, listen, I think at the end of the day, I can see a world where the governments issue cryptocurrencies and they
the United States is working on a digital dollar right now, so for sure.
Of course, right, yeah. So to me, that seems to be where this is all going. And, I think that certainly there's tailwinds right now behind Bitcoin and other coins, but I'd be very nervous about some of these, other lesser known coins. And I don't know, but
are you familiar with the whole ICO boom, the initial coin offerings in 2017 that may have led to, its demise, may have led to Bitcoin's fall? Are you familiar? And even the NFT boom going on right now, does it share parallels to those penny stock days, the whole pump and dump?
ICOs do, but not NFTs. I think NFTs are a great thing because I think that there's, it is what it is. It's about something of value behind it that's perceived value, but there's something behind it that an NFT represents an asset. It's the digitized form of an asset. Well, to me, an ICO is just a clever way to raise money and separate people from their money. Now, that doesn't mean there's not some really good ones out there. But, the one thing about Bitcoin that bothered me most is the inflationary aspect, that it was going up so fast, because what goes up eventually comes back down. I think right now, Bitcoin has found a really wide following, both individual investors and institutionally. So I think that's a really, really positive sign for the future. I'm not quite as sure about many of these smaller coins if they have that sort of broad sponsorship. And again, that's a very important thing to see which ones ultimately will survive this. But I think that Bitcoin is here to stay now. I'm bullish on it. And I love the fact, listen, I love to be proven wrong. I don't care. People change their mind all the time. I mean, the day that I stopped changing my mind is the day I probably stopped breathing.
At the heart, I feel like you are a tried and true salesperson. You were born out of the womb, carrying a briefcase and some widgets. But I'm wondering if you could give me your sales pitch on Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, I think Bitcoin right now, I believe it's digital gold. And I think it basically can be used as a store of value. And I think that the easiest way to look at this is there's a maximum amount of Bitcoins that can be minted. And based on the potential demand out there, there is calculations that said Bitcoin could go, to massively higher prices, like things that don't really make sense unless you actually looked at the math. So I think that one thing I know is that on Wall Street, it's all about timing, and timing. In real estate, it's location, location, and location. And right now, I believe, technically speaking, the time to buy Bitcoin is right now. That's as a salesman. I'm just kidding around right now. That's how I would sell. Technically speaking, right now, every technical and fundamental factor is in your favor. Institutional sponsorship is rising. Companies like PayPal, Tesla, on and on. The list goes on. It's only a matter of time until more institutions jump into the stock. So let me ask you a question. Where do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go when every major corporation out there is accepting Bitcoin, hoarding Bitcoin, and all the average investors are jumping on the bandwagon? Where's the stock? Where's it going to go?
That's why I'm covering Bitcoin. I can't wait to see.
Probably going to go higher, right?
Jordan, thank you.
But that's just my sales pitch.
Thank you so much. You heard it from the Wolf of Wall Street himself. Jordan, it was a pleasure.
If you want to know where I think Bitcoin's going right now, I think it's going higher. But I think it might go lower first, too, and I hope it goes lower. Because I'm going to take almost every dollar I have and buy it.
What the early Bitcoin investors were doing in 2017 is now being replicated on Wall Street and Silicon Valley. With 380% drops in Bitcoin so far, the next few months will define how it recovers. Meanwhile, some analysts anticipate that Bitcoin will soon reach an $8,000 bottom price, following a recent 70% drop from its $30,000 high. If their prediction comes true, this would hurt Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market even more, which has lost about $500 billion in value in the last month. Bitcoin has lost over a quarter of its value in the last 30 days. The majority of people believe Bitcoin and Ethereum will survive this cycle, but it's strikingly similar to the dot-com bubble of the 90s. But what do you think about Jordan Belfort's prediction for Bitcoin? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.